Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz. The PSL has entered its crucial phase. It is now the final frontier, and we know who the finalists are. It's Peshawar Zalmi and Multan Sultans who would be battling to claim the crown of the 6th edition of the PSL. But that being said, I think talk about Eliminator 2, and I keep on saying after every game that this was the best game, this was the best game. Yet another crunch encounter. Who would have thought that Zalmi would be chasing down in an eliminator with such comfort? I frankly thought they would be very happy to do so because I knew what their strength is. Islamabad United got off to a disastrous start because they lost Khwaja to a very unfortunate run out. But even after that, Colin Munro did his best to stable the side. But it was no Islamabad batsman in the middle order or even down Iftikhar and Asif who could probably support him. And had it not been for Hassan Ali's quick fire 46, who was just a boundary away to reach the fastest 50 of the PSL, and also Wasim Jr., who played a very important role with Hassan Ali in that batting partnership, Islamabad United would have not even gotten close to the total that they managed to put up. But in the end, it was Peshawar Zalmi who chased it down. It was Hazratullah Zazai who I think absolutely demolished every bowler. He was as ruthless as we've never seen a T20 player, and I keep on saying that Afghanistan is now producing the best brand of T20 players in the world, be it bowling, be it batting, be it fielding. They're a sensation. And what a sensation he was, because after losing Kamran Akmal Ali, he kept on going, smashing another half century in the PSL. With him, Shoaib Malik also played that cameo of 33, 34 runs of just 11, 12 deliveries, also to a great cause. And, you know, their batting still continued. They won by 8 wickets almost. So the final now commences on 24th of June. Multan is going to be very, very optimistic because the first time that they've qualified, but the brand of cricket Peshawar Zalmi is playing, I think that is very important to be discussed, because this is a brand of cricket that we've not seen in a while, where we know that sides are very comfortable chasing a total now. You know, sides don't do that normally. So I think that's very important to discuss. The final is going to be live tomorrow, and you're going to catch all the action on PTV Sports. If we talk about other activities in cricket around the world, the ICC Test Championship, it's also underway between New Zealand and India. It was very disappointing that rain had the majority share of the days, but we do have a reserve day, which is the final one that is underway. India are 156 for 6. They lead by 124 runs in reply to New Zealand's first innings total of 249. We'll be discussing all this in tonight's show. Time now to introduce our guest in studios, who've been joined by a cricket expert. He's going to analyze the game, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say on Peshawar Zalmi and Multan Sultans. None other than Osama Safdar. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Good to have you on the show, Osama bhai. We've also been joined by senior sports journalist, anchor, and also somebody who's going to be very happy to see Peshawar in the final, none other than Abdul Ghaffar bhai. Ghaffar bhai, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much.
Ghaffar bhai, your smile says it all, I think. That's what it means for Zalmi fans. But apart from reaching the final, the brand of cricket that you have brought has got to be the best that we've seen in T20 cricket.
Yes, absolutely. It is pure joy to watch the way Peshawar Zalmi and Multan Sultan reached the final. I think both deserving teams, and both teams have been not only they are very much able to do well in the obviously on the field, but I think I'm very impressed the way they actually gathered the think tank. Look at Inzamamul Haq's presence along with Muhammad Akram and Darren Sammy. On the other hand, Pakistani cricketers learning so much from Andy Flower. Then they have Mushtaq Ahmed and other Mahmood. Those gentlemen played a lot of cricket in England and then part of the England management as well. So I think this is a huge credit to both management as well. The team doing well, but I think both management, coaches, the sports staff, I think they also deserve a lot of appreciation for this.
Definitely a lot of appreciation for all those people involved. Osama bhai, like I said, I was discussing this before the show with you as well. If a side can get so comfortable chasing in crucial games, what difference does it make?
Well, if I analyze this, I think it must be a blessing for any team who is very comfortable in chasing. And looking around Peshawar Zalmi, they have been very comfortable in chasing in two crucial matches. I think this has been the best thing about Peshawar Zalmi, that they are playing a very good brand of cricket, especially after the inclusion of Hazratullah Zazai, Shoaib Malik, Rutherford, Jonathan Wills. I think they have done a very good job for Peshawar Zalmi, and they are playing fearless cricket. I think they don't have any attention of chasing any target. They are just playing normal cricket, just waiting for the loose balls, and very good to see Peshawar Zalmi coming in the playoffs and reaching the final.
Osama, Islamabad did look disoriented, right? Because even in the match against Multan Sultans, they absolutely had no clue with what was happening. Even in this match, after Hassan Ali had saved them, in their bowling, they were absolutely clueless.
Yes, Ahmed, absolutely. Islamabad really did struggle in the last two matches. They didn't come with the brand of cricket. They were playing in the group games. They won 8 out of 10 matches, so they played very good cricket. But somehow playoffs matches are always a pressure game. So the one who play good brand of cricket, who absorb all the pressure, they always come ahead. So at this stage, Peshawar Zalmi is clearly ahead of any team in this PSL right now.
Ghaffar bhai, would you like to point out any special formula that the Zalmi camp has been given to Hazratullah Zazai, or is it going to be a trademark secret for all people who have been watching his batting? Because this is absolutely ruthless cricket. We've not seen sixes like this, not even from Chris Gale.
Absolutely. I think the way Hazratullah Zazai playing this tournament, it is truly sensational. I think not only for Peshawar Zalmi, I think for PSL point of view, this is a great branding. And look at his interaction with Rashid Khan and obviously with then Fakhr Zaman on the Twitter. This is something I think is the biggest gain of the PSL, because these are the two stars, especially Rashid Khan, who is known to be as the biggest World T20 player right now, because he is the biggest star of the biggest league, IPL as well, and obviously other league he played. So I think the way Zai playing, I think this is a true professional inning. He actually described his inning in a post-match press conference, post-match talk with Ramiz Raja. He said that I think he felt some sort of cramp or maybe injury in start of his inning. But look at the professional way, the way Wells and Zai actually apply themselves. I think at the moment, at the point when they were maybe 70 odd for one after 10 hours, even I was thought that they might delaying the charge they should have right now, because in the pressure game you don't like too much to be chased in the last 1 or 2 hours. Like Peshawar did struggle against Karachi King, but hats off to them. I think they've planned and execute their plans pretty well, and I think this is the learning for Pakistani players as well, that how you should apply yourself in a biggest match, and even in the T20 you can still have a plan to be on the wicket, set yourself, and then choose the right ball. One thing I should mention, look at the game plan of the board team, Multan Sultan and Peshawar Zalmi. They actually rely on the fast bowlers rather than on spinners. And even yesterday, Wells and Zazai launched attack on Shadab Khan bowling. So this is going to be very interesting how these two teams continue their plan for the final, because at the moment I think Peshawar Zalmi, you get the point in the last match they rely on their fast bowler. So this is going to be very interesting. What will be their plan for the finals?
Osama bhai, very important point. If Zalmi are put into bat first in the final, you think it could trouble them, because their bowlers have actually struggled a bit, including Umaid Asif, who I think is a fantastic cricketer but suffered last night, got hit for runs. Ahmad Butt, playing his first game in the PSL, did pretty well. Wahab Riaz was terrific. So do you think if they are put into bat first, they will have a bit of pressure because they've been so comfortable chasing?
Yes, Ahmed, definitely they would feel a bit of pressure because they were very comfortable while chasing. Somehow when the dimension will change, and if they were supposed to bat first, so definitely all the scenario will be changed. In the last two games we have seen that Peshawar Zalmi have chased really very well, executed their plans. So somehow when things change and they would bat first, and it will definitely put pressure on Peshawar Zalmi, and they would never know that what would be a good total for the final. Keeping in view, as you said, that their bowlers will be under pressure. Ahmad Butt would be playing his first match. Umaid Asif has been going for runs. So yes, definitely they will be added a bit of pressure in that scenario, that if they bat first.
Definitely, Ghaffar, by the gamble that was made with playing in Wells in the squad. It was of course his first match after being into mandatory quarantine. people did say a lot. But I always say that if you look at the stats, he's got an average of 33 in T20 cricket. His strike rate is well above the 100 mark. So a player who's this big of a mental caliber player does not mind the occasion. So do you also believe that these certain players around the world are players who are very mentally strong, so they won't mind if it's the first game for them? Even if you talk about Ahmad Butt, it was also his first game, but he looked very calm and collected.
I think this is something very interesting from behalf of the Zalmi management, especially their coaches Mohammad Akram and Darren Sami. They kept changing a few changes in every game, and they come up with a surprise. I think in every game, in the middle part of the tournament, they bring Abrar. Then obviously when they don't have David Miller, they suddenly bring Zasai into the reckoning, and then obviously yesterday from nowhere, Ahmad Butt was playing. So I think they have their bench strength very sorted out. They know against which opposition and which conditions they should have a playing 11. So I think this is a well thought strategy, I think, on behalf of Peshawar Zalmi, and it surprised me as well, especially the Welsh inclusion, especially in the directly he is playing in the all important eliminator too. But that is also going to tell you about the strength of the squad and the bench strength they have. So I think this is going to be a very good battle. And on the other hand, I think we should not definitely discount it. Multan Sultans, they have a brilliant side, they have a brilliant coach, they have an inform in this one, and definitely this is going to be a tough battle between the two teams.
Very tough battle. You have to believe that, because nobody would have thought that how Multan would be able to demolish Islamabad United. Who would have thought Suhail Tanveer would come and show his experience at a time where young Pakistani fast bowlers have not been able to extract this much from a UAE wicket?
Absolutely, and for a Multan point of view, it has been a surprise package for Multan. Suhail Tanveer at the wrong side of his age, he has been performing very well. Shahnawaz Dhani, youngster at this stage, picking up wickets at the crucial times. But coming on the batting point of view, the best job has been done for Multan Sultans, that their batting has performed very well. And the major portion of their batting was covered by Shoaib Maksud and Mohammad Rizwan. So both these batsmen, they really showed their importance for the team, and both these really batted with good strike rate. So in a T20 game, the most thing that matters is your strike rate.
So is that a similarity, Osama bhai, that both teams have looked to accelerate the run rate even if they've lost quick wickets? Like the other day, Multan did lose Rizwan on duck, but Shoaib Maksud kept on going.
Exactly, that is the point that the both team has been carrying out with them. If you look at Multan Sultans, they have got at number 3 Shoaib Maksud. He has been really playing really well at that point. And for Peshawar Zalmi, Shoaib Malik, and yesterday we saw Jonathan Wells who was placed at number 3. So if you analyze both the teams have a really good batting lineup who have good striking abilities. So we are going to see a very good final coming ahead tomorrow.
Very good final coming ahead indeed. If I just talk about a couple of the stats that I have in front of me, both these teams have so far played the number of games against each other. 5 have been won by Multan Sultans, 3 have been won by Peshawar Zalmi. Batting first, Multan has won 2 games. Batting second, they've won 3, and Peshawar Zalmi has won 3 games batting second. Average innings score in the first innings has been 169 for Multan, 146 for Peshawar. For batting second, Multan has scored 147 at an average score and 166 for Peshawar. So that just gives us a better idea of how this would be going. If you talk about this year's PSL, then they've actually played a couple of games against each other as well that we know that took place at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium, in which first of all we had Multan Sultans defeating them by 8 wickets in one game, and then of course Multan Sultans defeating them, losing to Peshawar in another game that was held, in which Peshawar scored 197. Multan fell short definitely at the same time. So a fair bit of games between these others, but Ghaffar bhai, when it comes to the final, then all these stats don't matter, because at the end of the day it's who holds their nerves, whose plans come to implementation, and who can outclass their opposition.
Absolutely, and I think little things matter. As you mentioned, Usman Khwaja run out actually changed the complexion of the game, and obviously these sort of things, and obviously don't forget the luck factor as well. I think Usman Khwaja was very unlucky yesterday, but that is something is happened in cricket. So I think both teams that you mentioned are equally matched. They have a great bowling attack, but in my opinion, Peshawar Zalmi has some depth in their batting, because if you look around, Finn Rutherford, even Robin Powell, then Wahab Riaz, and Umayyad Asif, they all are capable of hitting big sixes, boundaries. On the other hand, I think even Rizwan admitted this thing in the today's press conference before the final end, but he also counted his top six as their strength because these are genuine match winners in his opinion, obviously, and they showed that in the tournament. But I think this is going to be very interesting if Shawaz doesn't manage to get one or two early wickets because Multan did lack bit of depth in the batting, and obviously Riley is also not in the best of form. But that is something I think Peshawar Zalmi to have a look on it. But I think Multan sees it very differently. They think that the top six can perform. But this is, I think, going to be only thing which can be discussed as a differentiate between the two teams. But in my opinion, as always, in final, the toss factor, the good start, bit of luck, these all things will matter.
Definitely, these are things that matter indeed as well, and we keep on talking about the game and talking about certain crunch players that have been there for the team as well. For Peshawar Zalmi, you definitely have to say Zazai has been there, but you cannot rule out the, I think, magical captaincy of Wahab Riaz, how calm and collected he has been. He's performed with the ball, with the bat, with the fielding placements when required. Shoaib Malik and so many other players coming at very important times for them, including Jonathan Wells that we talked about. Your thoughts on the captaincy of Wahab Riaz and also his bowling, because you can analyze that better, that as a fast bowler and definitely as a captain, how has he managed to control the team?
Yes, I was surprised after looking Wahab Riaz captaincy abilities in this PSL 6. Really, he has maneuvered his bowlers really well. The fielding restrictions, all in all, it has been a magnificent performance from Wahab Riaz. As a bowler, I would say that whenever a bowler is made a captain, Ahmed, it's always necessary to look your bowlers. He really maneuvers his bowlers really well, keeping in view who bowlers have got how many overs to left. So again, I would say that in T20 there should be a bowler captain, because he always analyzes his bowlers really very well.
Really very well. That's a very good point that Osama bhai makes, that the captaincy of Wahab Riaz has been tremendous. Ghaffar bhai, would you agree?
Absolutely. I think this is something I think credit goes to any management, because if you look around Mohammad Rizwan captaincy, Wahab Riaz captaincy, it seems like both have backing from their team management. They looks very confident. They have a very brilliant think tank along with them, because if you look around, I already mentioned that Peshawar Zalmi, they have likes of great in the Mahmood Haq, Darren Sami, and don't forget that Darren Sami, Mohammad Akram, Wahab Riaz, they are with Peshawar Zalmi from the day one, and now it's the sixth season. They are entering the fourth final. So this is going to tell you the reason that the consistency in the decision making and the think tank, it is very important, because you must have the like of Darren Sami and obviously Akram and like Wahab Riaz. Those can own the brand and the Zalmi team, because it is obviously the league where the player, the team gather for just 1 month only. So every T20 team should have someone who cares about everything in the other 11 months, and obviously this is the continuity and the backing they have. Wahab mentioned in the press conference that in the last 3 months they were consistently talk about the Peshawar Zalmi, and then obviously they have the likes of Hashim Amla as well. So this is something I think credit goes to both management. I'm very impressed and always a fan of Andy Flower as a coach who changed the fortune of England cricket. They totally transformed them, and now they are actually become the real power brand of the limited over especially. So I think this is a test of think tank as well, how they plan out the final according to the strengths and weaknesses of each other.
Definitely. If we talk about some crunch players, and I'll definitely, before I move on to the second segment, I'll ask my guests this question and then obviously take their predictions for the final tomorrow as well. But Osama bhai, your call on crunch crucial players for both the teams. Who do you think is going to be that key element there?
Yes, for Multan point of view, it always will be first 3 players. That is Mohammad Rizwan, Suhaib Maqsood, and who's the second opener of Multan Sultans? Shan Masood played in the playoffs, or
yes,
Shan Masood. These 3 players, and in the bowling point of view,
or Johnson Charles from the West Indies, maybe. Do you think that?
Yeah, in the middle order.
Yeah.
Coming ahead in their bowling lineup, again the experienced Suhail Tanveer and youngsters coming ahead is Shahnawaz Dhani. These are the impact players of Multan Sultan. And moving ahead, coming towards the Peshawar Zalmi, and again Hazul Azizai without any
without any doubt, yes.
doubt, and coming number 3 Shoaib Malik, and again Jonathan Wells, who has been new in this tournament, but as he played in the first match, I think he had skills. He showed that he had skills. So, but again, Peshawar Zalmi's the Peshawar Zalmi has a bit upper hand in the bowling lineup. They have Wahab Riaz, Umaid Asif, Ahmad Butt. So I think, in my point of view, Peshawar Zalmi is ahead in terms of their bowling lineup.
So you would go with Peshawar
Peshawar
Zalmi.
Zalmi.
And what would you see a side doing? Do you think Peshawar would want to chase?
Yes, obviously they have been really comfortable and successful winning the knockout games. So I think they would really go for the chasing again in the final.
Ghaffar, but it would be very wrong if I ask you your prediction. Your smile said it all at the start of the show. But who do you think are going to be the crucial players for both the teams?
I think absolutely Shahnawaz Dhani, because he is come the rock star of the PSL 6, the way he actually delight all of us. I think even Wahab Riaz today in the press conference, he was saying that Dhani, I really enjoyed the attitude and obviously the performances he have, and this is something I think will impact a lot of. Dhani definitely would have a lot of impact on the final, because if he is going the way he did in the whole PSL 6, this is going to be very, very difficult for Peshawar Zalmi in the middle over, because middle over is absolutely key in the T20, especially in the final. So Dhani versus Peshawar Zalmi batting, this is going to be very, very interesting battle. Obviously, they have the likes of Rizwan, and Rizwan in the form of his life, he actually proved us wrong about every time he entered in the batting. 6 months ago, maybe 12 months ago, no one was even considering him as a T20 player, but now he is a Pakistan star in the international cricket arena, the President Cricketer of the Year. So that is something I think Multan Sultan will really banked on. They have very solid cricketers, Shan Masood, technically, and obviously, I think this is going to be a real exciting battle between the aggression and something. I think from the Multan Sultan point of view, I think they have a very compact set of players. They might not go after the bowling from the word go, but they have something they have planned, and obviously they are very positive about it. So on Peshawar Zalmi, I think definitely they have X factors, they have match winners. That is something Peshawar Zalmi able to produce in the very crunch and crucial and very tough playoff matches, and they emerge obviously as the winner because of this factor. So I think this is going to be very good battle. I think Dubai definitely going to be very important, and I think Shoaib Malik in the middle order, in my opinion, will be the key player for Peshawar.
The key players indeed, that is what Ghaffar Bhai picked, and definitely we do know that Peshawar seems to have the upper hand, but it's going to be a great contest, because imagine Zazai facing Dhani, or Zazai facing the likes of the experience of Imran Tahir, Shoaib Malik coming to the party. A lot to be said about both sides there. Nonetheless, I think the PSL will conclude in great fashion. It's been, I think, a lot of credit should be given to the PCB, the PSL management, the way they've been able to resume it during the pandemic, all the problems with the UAE, they still managed to get it over with, and definitely a day more and will be completing the 6th season and moving on to the 7th next year. I think a lot of credit needs to be given to the PCB, the entire management of PSL, all the franchises as well, all the 6 franchises, the players, the staff involved. I think they've done a tremendous job, and also the ground staff at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi also deserve a lot of credit, and the UAE authorities. That being said, now moving on to the second segment from T20 straight onwards to Test cricket. It's the ICC Test Championship final that is underway between New Zealand and India in Southampton. Very unfortunate that the rain has been playing a spoiler sport. But if you talk about the recent scorecard right now, India is 170 for 9, 72.4 overs they've batted in this innings. Still a bit of time to go in this day, but they lead by 138 runs. Now, if they get all out, will New Zealand want to chase it down? They definitely would, because we know that they're a fighting side, but it's going to be very, very interesting. A lot of people have claimed that the weather should have been brought into account, and instead of a reserve day, maybe they should have shifted the venue. But that being said, because now it's being done there, you can't say anything at all. But we knew that these were the top 2 quality test sides in the world, Osama bhai.
Yes, absolutely. The 2 most deserving team are playing the ICC World Test Championship final. And yes, again, you rightly said that the weather should have been kept in their mind when the final was taking off. But again, I hope that it's still 1.5 session to be played, and India, as you said, 170 for 9. So one more wicket, and then New Zealand will come to bat again. So a clear chance for New Zealand, and they should go for a win. Ahmed, they should go for a win. They should not go for a
But
draw.
if they do, that also gives India a chance to win as well. Because
Yes, absolutely. It is a final, and both teams should try to win a game. You know, draw should not be priority for any team. A win should be priority for any team. So I should say that as soon as India gets out, New Zealand should go for a win. It might be 170, 150, whatever the score. New Zealand should go for a win from this stage.
Ghaffar bhai, a thought about New Zealand. We know India is a top quality side in the world as far as cricket is concerned. But New Zealand, with their mental strength, Kyle Jamieson picking up 5 wickets in the first innings, and then now Bolt and Wagner trying to do their best to get India all out. A lot of credit, would you believe, needs to be given to New Zealand, how they've managed to lift their side up over the years.
I think big thank you for New Zealand. And obviously, ICC should thank them because New Zealand bowling actually saved the day. Obviously, it was a lot of criticism about the venue, the rain protection, and it was actually a wrong call to take, in my opinion. New Zealand obviously played out of skin and they actually made India in trouble, but a lot of time being wasted. And it is, in my opinion, I even tweeted yesterday that this ICC Test Championship final, I think I would love to listen from you, both of you. I think this Test Championship should be decided on home and away basis. And why not? Why on a neutral venue? I think they should be on home and away basis because both deserving team in the final. Imagine Pakistan, and inshallah, I hope next in the cycle if we reach the final. Definitely, Pakistani people would love to see Pakistan team playing the final on their home soil rather than on a neutral venue. So this is mind-boggling for at least me. I think both teams should be played their home and away matches final at their home soil. And obviously, a lot of credit to New Zealand. I think, in my opinion, India did a mistake in the at a toss when they included 2 spinners in the side, where obviously the Jamieson and obviously Bold and then Saudi, they are troubling India with their pace and with their seam position. I think it's a wrong call by India. They included 2 spinners. I think that's why they are paying the price for it.
Definitely, that was a wrong call because they believed that maybe the spin element would trouble teams from outside Asia. But Osama bhai, now modern cricket has shown us that teams that used to struggle against spin don't struggle anymore. They've actually equipped themselves to play spin better. Even England did that when they were touring India, and they had a very good test series there.
Yeah, yes, Ahmed, absolutely. And again, yes, you rightly mentioned India did really make the wrong decision to play 2 spinners. Green wicket, I think they should have played 4 fast bowlers and 1 spinner. Yes, again, as you mentioned, this test should have been prolonged to 1 more day, keeping in view the weather conditions. Again, if I talk about the Western countries who have really equipped their batsmen very well with the spinners, New Zealand and England are those 2 teams who are really equipped their batting lineup to play the spin very good. You know, as we saw in the last series in which England toured India for a ODI series, England really did trouble Indian spinners. And New Zealand again, Rose Taylor, Williamson and Tom Latham are known to play spin very good. So India really made wrong decision to play 2 spinners. Again, that side who plays spins very, very well.
And they had a good squad as well. Talk about Mohammad Siraj, a very fantastic fast bowler,
Yes.
Mohammad Shami,
Umesh
Yadav. So they've got, as far as fast bowling is concerned, India have some great fast bowlers now.
Yes, I think their bench strength is as good as their current bowling lineup. So I don't know what was the decision to play 2 spinners, whether they want to prolong their batting lineup, keeping in view
Jadeja and Ashwin,
green conditions. So I think that would be under their mind that they would prolong their batting lineup, keeping in view again New Zealand's bowling lineup and the likes of Saudi, Bold, Wagner, Jamieson. They have a really very good bowling lineup. So I think that factor would be in their mind that they have prolonged their batting lineup playing 2 spinners.
Now, New Zealand have given no escape. Ghaffar bhai, if you're looking to play out Saudi, you'll have to face Bolt. If you think you can survive Bolt, then Jamieson, then Wagner, Colin de Grandhomme would come and bowl you out of nothing. So, talk about the fast bowling department. They've ticked all boxes, and they were in England before that time as well. They even beat England 1-0 in that test series that they played on England's home soil. So that gives a lot of impetus to the fact that New Zealand has been very strong aiming for this. And the fact is that they've not won anything in the recent years, losing the final of the World Cup to England as well. One would say that, okay, let New Zealand win something at least.
Absolutely, I think that if they win, it is going to be a deserving ICC title for them. 2015 World Cup, 2019 World Cup, they remain the runners-up. And I think the brand of cricket they are playing, India obviously blessed with a lot of natural talent, and obviously they have world-class players like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and then obviously some exciting players. But look at the way New Zealand playing their cricket in the last 4 or 5 years. And in any condition against any team, they remain their approach the same. They always attack the opposition. They playing test matches with the intent to win. They are playing. I think New Zealand and England both. They play their limited cricket with the approach to attack and show aggression from the word go. That is something which we call the modern cricket, which is redefined by England and New Zealand in particular. I think they even pushed behind Australia, the dominant force of the world cricket for the decade. But I think New Zealand and England, I think they played a fantastic cricket in the last 4 or 5 years. They changed the world cricket. They become the trendsetter. And I think no one than New Zealand deserves this final to be win. I think this is going to be a real, I think, deserving final for them.
Ghaffar bhai, your thoughts? Do you think it's going to head towards a draw? Or do you think New Zealand, if they get India all out in the next couple of overs, would probably chase it down?
I have no doubt they will definitely go for the win. And obviously, this is not the ODI and T20 team of them, and they have some very quality test cricketers and they have quality test batsmen. But I think no doubt about it. I think this is the big final. They are, I think, really want to win ICC title. So this is the biggest opportunity. I think New Zealand should go for it.
Definitely. Osama bhai, your thoughts? Do you think we will have a result or ends in a draw?
No, I would definitely would choose that New Zealand should go for a chase. Look at their batting lineup. Most of their players are those who are also featuring in their white ball cricket. Williamson, Taylor, Nicholas, Tom Latham. So there is no doubt that New Zealand should go for a chase, and it's a golden chance for them to win this World Test Championship. If they have to even chase 170 or 180 in one session, they always should go for the chase.
Right, we'll just give you the update very quickly. India are now all out on 170. That means New Zealand need a target of 139 runs to win this ICC Test Championship final. They have almost, I think, the second session was in place, so you can imagine that they still have a lot of time. So very interesting phase that the test match has now entered into. That means that we're really hoping for a result, and we might get that. Ghaffar bhai, thank you so much for joining us. Always great pleasure and an honor having you. Osama bhai, thank you so much for being on the show as well. The championship is going to continue, and we're going to have definitely a great result in whichever way it comes out. But we certainly hope that the result is there, and we see this happening as well, because New Zealand now need 139 runs to win. They still have a lot of time. If obviously weather doesn't interrupt, we know that there's still sunny conditions out there, so maybe it can work. We'll see that in a bit. That's all we have time for. But before we leave, it's time now for a segment that is Sports Roundup of the Day. Right, in the Sports Roundup of the Day, UEFA Euro 2020 continues in all its glorious fashions. We've seen some exciting games. We've seen a masterclass from different teams as well, where we've seen England have reaching the last 16 with a win over Czech Republic. Finally, something good for Gareth Southgate and his side as well. And it's good to see that they've done it. Modric's masterclass has also shattered Scotland's dreams, as England, of course, made it at the same time as well. Copa America also continues, with the football being top of the calendar this season, and we're talking about international football. Argentina have booked a knockout spot with a win over Paraguay. Brazil are taking on Colombia tomorrow. Chile is also through to the quarterfinals. FIFA World Cup 2022. Ticket sales for the 2022 World Cup will start in January. The mega event is going to start on the 21st of November next year in Qatar. Also, the Pakistan Hockey Federation is also on the Sports Roundup tonight, where the Pakistan Hockey Federation has decided to hold exhibition games on Olympic Day. 4 teams are playing exhibition matches in Peshawar. That's it for this edition of Sports Extra and our Sports Roundup of the Day. From me and the entire team, catch us tomorrow. It's goodbye for now.